book review. I'm back. Okay, so this time I will be reviewing 5 different books. I'm going to try and go as fast as I can so that it's not too crazy. But first up, we have Cook County ICU. Then we'll have The Shift, 1 Nurse, 12 Hours, 4 Patients Live. Followed by Ranger School, Deep Survival, and of course, I can't do book review without another Brandon Sanderson book, The Hero of Ages. That will be last and probably the most exciting one for me at least. Okay, let's get started. So, Cook County ICU. 30 Years of Unforgettable Patients and Odd Cases. This book was, I would give it like a 4 out of 5 stars. It was pretty informative, obviously nonfiction, and it from a doctor's perspective of just some of the different patients that he treated in his years in the ICU and kind of what treatment looks like in the ICU itself. So if you're kind of curious about medicine, or if you have a loved one who is going through some serious medical treatment, or you yourself are going through medical treatment, it's kind of a good, I recommend reading some of these because especially, as I like to say, I'm a professional patient, and sometimes I forget what is going through on the other side of things. And it really kind of brings it back to perspective of, how far thin our doctors and medical staff are stretched, and just kind of helps me remember to give them the same amount of grace that I wish that they would give to me. This second one, The Shift, 1 Nurse, 12 Hours, 4 Patient Lives by Teresa Brown. This is a 5 out of 5. I highly recommend that people read this. I feel like this or something like this book should be assigned reading in high school, because it goes through a nurse on the, oh goodness, I'm going to forget the word, on the cancer ward, oncology, and she goes through what it's like, what 1 12-hour shift is like for her, and all of the thoughts that she's keeping track of, and the worries, and jump back and forth between patients, trying to keep track of stuff, working with the other medical providers and the doctors and the family members and the patients themselves. And to me, like, I've always had very, very high respect for my nurses, something I pride myself in, because I know that I'm just one patient on their very busy day. And I know they're doing their best most of the time. And this really just brought it back down to earth of, these are human beings just like me, just like you, who are working in an industry, especially if they work in the U.S., that is so unforgiving to medical professionals. And after the height of COVID, when they were highly praised and thanked and everybody appreciated them, and then back now that a lot more people have chronic illnesses after COVID, and the medical system is just bogged down even more, and they're so underappreciated. The hospital that I attend on a regular basis for treatment, they've literally started posting signs everywhere that are basically saying, we will not tolerate any sort of harassment, verbal, physical, no threats, that they will be prosecuted. And I'm just like, I cannot fathom working in an environment where you are choosing to put yourself at risk by serving others, helping others, and wondering if you're going to get assaulted, if you're going to be threatened, and when you are just trying to do your best to make somebody else feel better. So anyways, highly recommend, 5 out of 5 stars. You should read it. Your kids should read it. Your mom should read it. Everybody should read it, listen to it. It's just, because we are all going to need doctors at some point in our life, doctors and nurses, and you need to remember how to respect them and to treat them with the dignity and grace that they deserve. Okay, on to the next one. Ranger School Discipline, Direction, Determination by Jimmy Blackman. This was, I would say, a 4.5 out of 5. It was really good. I actually read it after the next book that I'm going to review here. But it goes, this Army Ranger, he is telling his story as best as he can remember and pulling recollections together from those that went through school at the same time as him as to what Ranger School truly is like, and the months of complete excruciating just grueling work that they go through and training to be, the best of the best, the top of the top, and to be able to make quick decisions and smart decisions, not only for their own safety, but for the safety of the team, for the safety of their command and of their nation. And this book he's so detailed. I loved it. It was really awesome and just awe-inspiring because, this is so beyond what anybody might experience in boot camp, and that before they could really even get to the true Ranger School part of the training, there was a first part that you have to get through to make sure that you're not going to die during Ranger training, because yes, unfortunately, they put you in life or death situations, and there are some people who have sadly passed away trying to get through this, or who get seriously injured. So highly recommend this book. It was super well written. I loved it. Okay, this one is Deep Survival, Who Lives, Who Dies, and Why by Lawrence Gonzalez. Now, like I said, I read this one first, and then I went and read The Ranger School. This one was a little hard to follow at times. It's by this author. He has put himself into lots of situations throughout his life where he's pushed his body to the extreme. And his dad was one, if I remember right, his dad was the only person as a teenager to walk away from a plane crash. And so he kind of evaluates and digs deep into why is it that some people, if a plane goes down and there's 5 people there, why is it that only one person will actually make it out alive, will walk for days and nights, and the others who are in equal shape will just sit down and die? And what that mindset is, and his experiences with it. And so it was really interesting. I would give this maybe a 4 out of 5. It was good. I had a hard time following it sometimes. There was a lot of little jumps here and there. But overall, if you're curious about that aspect too, as to what it is that makes some people just give up in these life and death situations when other people come out miraculously alive, definitely recommend this book. And last, but certainly not least, The Hero of Ages, Book 3 of Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. Yeah, if you've been following my book reviews, you know that this year I was introduced to The Cosmere by Brandon Sanderson and have absolutely fell in love with it. It's just, these books, if you are into fantasy, if you are into books that create these incredible worlds with super intricate details that link together, and incredible character builds. It doesn't sound right, but anyways, do yourself a favor and go read one of his books, okay? This one, let me tell you, I finished it at 10:30 at night, and I was seriously going no. I'm not going to spoil it for y'all, but Brandon Sanderson, Storm You. The way my heart was not prepared for this ending. Oh, this is a 6 out of 5. But anyways, that's all. Thanks for listening along. Have a good day.